Ooh. Ooh, wee. Jesus, your boy need to shave. I will shave. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Um, and by the way, the shirt doesn't have like lint or something on it. It's just designed that way. Star Wars shirt under shirt. Man, I want to talk to y'all though, for real. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Clan the Spurs fan here with a brand new video for you. Basically live, and I'm just gonna be live for a while, and hopefully some people can come in here. A few people, not a lot, just a few, have been hitting me up asking me, "Yo, how do you feel about the signing of?" I'm just gonna call him Demo because his name is extremely hard to say. It's like Donatus. It's hard to say. I can't. What's up, bro? I said, "What's up, Clan? What's up?" But yeah, let's talk about it, man. I'm just gonna spill out, and I'm sorry if I'm not looking at the camera a lot because I'm driving. I really appreciate it. I don't mean to like be disengaged or anything like that. Like I really do want this channel to grow, and I know it might not keep growing with videos like this, but hey, your boy ain't got time. But I do want to talk about the Spurs. One thing I want to say about our Spurs right now, the Rockets game was frustrating. We'll get into that later. But right now, let's talk about the fact that the Spurs are making moves. The Spurs want a championship. It is so like in our face now that the Spurs are going for a championship, because a lot of times, especially as Spurs fans, if you know this, if you pay attention to our team, what the Spurs do often, and what we often do is sometimes we know what type of shape we are in. Of course, the Spurs are always trying to win. They're always trying to get to the playoffs and have a chance. But you can tell from their attitude certain years that, hey, they feel as if they don't know if they can win a championship. They don't know if, this is going to be the year. And their actions show it. Sometimes we don't make big moves and we just be a little more patient because we're like, hey, this move right here might be cool short term, but it's going to hurt us long term. So they don't make moves. They don't do certain things. Let's start with one thing, and I'm not going to start with the signing right away. Let's start with the fact that our San Antonio Spurs played Lonnie Walker last night. I thought that was very telling. I thought that it showed that our coaching staff is very, I don't quite remember Donis. Is he a dependable role player? I'm going to go into that. I'm going to get into Demo. We're going to call him Demo now. We're gonna get into that. We'll get into Demo in a minute, but let's talk about the fact that our San Antonio Spurs went and played Lonnie Walker. That is incredible to me. That Lonnie Walker got some playing time. Yes, he only had 4 minutes, but if you saw 4 points. But if you saw the game, you know that boy was putting in work for real. He was putting in some work, and it's very telling. It's very telling that the Spurs played him in this game, because it shows how much faith Popovich has in this dude. Because the last time he played, he put him on an island by himself versus the Golden State Warriors. And now he puts him back on the stage against the Rockets. Another time that he put him on stage was against the Rockets again, but that was in a blowout. But for him to play in the middle of this game the way he did, and he played pretty well. He ran the offense accordingly. He didn't try to do too much. He didn't seem like he got lost. Sorry, I think my thing went out for a minute. But he didn't look like he got lost like he did in the Golden State game. So he looks great. And I think that is very telling that the Spurs want to implement Lonnie Walker into the offense at this point in the season. It shows how much faith they have in Lonnie Walker, and it shows that they're really willing to try to go after that championship. They are not holding back. They are not just throwing in the towel. They're going for this championship, y'all. They're going for it. Now, you guys want to know about Donis. You want to know about, I don't think that's how you say his name, by the way. It's like, just say Demo. You want to know about Demo. The signing of Demo, if you remember him in the 2015, 2016 season, he was growing tremendously with the Rockets. I mean, there was articles that were coming out about him talking about how he earned a starting position with the Rockets. James Harden loved him. There's plenty of great plays between those two. But one thing about him is he feels as if he's what we wanted Pau Gasol to be, but a little better. And what I mean by that is we wanted Pau Gasol to be a stretch big. Like, at this point of Pau Gasol's career, that's what he needs to be, a stretch big. His defense is not that great. People get past him all the time. Sometimes people get rebounds over him. He's actually a really good rebounder. I mean, he's a really good passer, but you know that it's iffy when it comes to Pau Gasol. You know what I mean? So on the defensive end, we couldn't afford to play him for many reasons. Because yes, Jakob just kind of took his job, but really because he didn't play great defense, and he didn't show enough while he was on the court for us to just play him. But if you look into Demo, he's a really good stretch. That's what he is. He's like a stretch 4. He's a good defender, good passer, and he has a few moves under the paint. And not only that, guys, this guy, the last time he was in the NBA, he was about 26. He's 28 now. He spent 2 years in China. So he was working on his game in China. We don't know what he added to his game coming up to this point. He already shown, it'd be different if it was just a guy coming out of China, he never been in the NBA. He's shown that he can play in the NBA. So that's a gimme. He's shown that he can play in the NBA. Whatever personal reasons he went to China, I don't know. I don't believe he was kicked out of the league or nothing like that. He's a pretty good player. And I remember him. I do remember him. I'm not going to act like I've seen all these Rockets games where it's like, oh yeah, I remember when he played here and played there. Not really. I more so remember him from, highlights sometime on ESPN. Saw a few articles when it was pertaining to the Rockets, because I don't like the Rockets. So, you got to keep up with your enemies. And I saw that he was very promising. And now he's been in China for 2 years. Then he injured Steph. Was he the one that injured Steph? He might was the one, because that was the year that Steph got hurt, right? Ain't that the year Steph got hurt? 2015. He probably was the one. I remember him. This is gonna be weird, but I remember him on 2K. I definitely remember him on 2K. I remember there's people that picked the Rockets, and I hated it because they could just shoot lights out with the guy. But yeah, he's a really good stretch 4. He's a good defender. If you look up any highlights of him on YouTube, I'm sure you'll find some of his great passes. It was one pass he had, and it was like on a fast break, and I remember it because I was like, dang, that. And it was very, when we're talking about he's kind of like Pau Gasol, it was very Pau Gasol-esque, like Lakers Pau Gasol-esque. He went in a fast break, went behind his back, faked out the defender, and then did like a behind the back pass to no look pass to James Harden, and he finished at the rim. And I was like, damn. So that's a really good signing, guy. It's a really, really, really good signing, and everyone knows that. Often with foreign players, they know the game of basketball pretty well. Too often with American players, where we kind of run off our athleticism and our God-given ability and don't really learn basketball. They don't really teach you true basketball. But a lot of these foreign players come in and they know basketball, and this is going to be one of those guys. He's legit. And I'm going to be on here for a while, so if you guys got any comments or any questions you want to ask, throw it on here. And every time I hit like a stoplight or something, I'll check. Is he going to get any minutes? I'll say it like this. The Spurs didn't sign this dude for no reason. They didn't sign to fill up space. They didn't, because honestly, I think that the Spurs have seen this winning streak the Spurs went on, or this team has went on. They see the games that we lost. So they see against the Heat, and they saw that, yes, we're missing another guy. And I'm going to get into that Rockets game too, because I have not given my opinions on that at all. But yeah, they saw that we lost against the Heat. And one thing that we've been missing all season is kind of that third guy. And now that Pau Gasol is gone, we definitely going to need another big man down the stretch. And we found our identity. We needed another scorer, so that's why they played Lonnie Walker. I think that they believe in Lonnie Walker, and they're going to try to commit him, and it's up to him to show that he's worthy of those minutes. And when it comes to the big men, as far as big men that they're going to play and all that, I think that our identity really is tough, gritty defense, hit you in the paint, punch you in the mouth, type game. I mean, that's the type of game we have at this point. So when you go and get a player like that, you're just emphasizing your 3-point shooting and you're emphasizing your defense. It plays backed off of Harden and someone put it back through my heart. Okay. A lot of people coming in here talking about this Rockets game. I was going to talk about how positive and great this is, that the Spurs like making these moves, 8 minutes and getting this, getting Demo and everything. All right, let's talk about it. I'm going to give my opinions on that game. First, I'm going to be fair. We got to put some blame on our Spurs for losing that game. Okay? And I'm going to get into all that stuff. Don't give me... He said, we got to talk about it. All right, let's talk about it. First off, I'm going to put some blame on my Spurs, on our Spurs. Because, honestly, when you have a game in your hands in which we had it, you have to finish it by any means necessary. You understand what type of player James Harden is. You understand that James Harden will force fouls on you. You understand that the refs are going to give James Harden some questionable calls. You have to take care of the ball, especially down the stretch. You can't give up the ball down the stretch. You can't turn the ball over. You can't get impatient. And I felt like when push came to shove, I felt like DeMar DeRozan got very impatient down the stretch. With that being said, screw the Rockets. And I got really irritated by Harden, and I still, to this day, I still do not understand how he gets so many calls. There was a lot of flops by him. There was a lot of plays where I was like, are you serious? How could you even call that? It's kind of irritating. And the thing is, guys, the thing about it is, it's like I want to get so angry about it, but at the same time, I don't think the Spurs really took that game as serious as we think that they did. I think they put more emphasis on the Warriors game and a few of those other games than they did the Rockets game, because usually how the Spurs play the Rockets, especially in the playoffs, is that they physically show their hands to the ref. They show that they're not touching James Harden. And that forces the refs not to call a foul. That's usually how they play those. You know what I mean? So the Spurs, to me, didn't even play their best game that they could have, that they were capable of doing. And keep this in mind also, guys. The only person that was beating us was James Harden. We know who James Harden is. You know, the guy who got blocked by Manu Ginobili. The guy who chokes late in the playoffs all the time. That's who James Harden is. I'm not worried about the Rockets, because I feel like when push comes to shove, Popovich is going to outcoach D'Antoni, and James Harden is not going to be able to put up 61 points per game. Even in this game, he went to the free throw line and shot 17 free throws. You know what I mean? He shot 17 free throws. That's a lot of damn free throws. And I feel like against a Spurs team in the playoffs, he ain't going to be able to put up that many free throws. It's just not going to happen. So this whole notion that the Spurs should be afraid of the Rockets, or the Rockets just killed the Spurs, or you can't stop James Harden, that is very false. You're going to be able to stop James Harden. You got to play a mental game with James Harden, because every play, I don't like the way he plays, because he plays soft. I'm not a fan of seeing somebody try to draw a foul every single game. That's just not my thing. It irritates me. It bothers me by no ends, and I do not like seeing that. So here's the thing. In the playoffs, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to show our hands to the refs, put our hands up while we're guarding them, and we're not going to foul him. It's going to be a mental game, because if you play good defense on James Harden, most of the time he's not going to hit the shot. It's when you foul him, or when he sees that you're a little, on your heels, that's when he kills you. Or if you confused on defense, Rudy Gay and Bryn Forbes, he kills you. So that's where he's going to kill you. He's not going to just straight up murder you. It's not going to happen. He's not going to Kobe Bryant you. He's not. So he's looking for fouls. And a player like that, you can always beat them in the playoffs. What would be the problem is if the entire Rockets team was on, because we always have a problem with Eric Gordon. But other than that, I'm not really worried about them. There's a lot of positives from that game. The fact that Lonnie Walker got minutes. The fact that right after this game, the Spurs went and made a move like this. Guys, I think you need to realize the significance of what the Spurs just did. Because this isn't something that we do often, where we just sign a player like that. They don't do that often. And they signed a good player. And a lot of people ask, is he going to be eligible for the playoffs? I'm pretty sure that's how that works. I think the whole thing, when you're not eligible, y'all can tell me, because that's why I'm here, so you guys can tell me if I'm wrong or not. But I believe that when you're ineligible for the playoffs at this point, which would have been past March 1st, that was for the people that were waived from NBA teams. Am I right? Am I right? Because a lot of people think that, or some people ask me, is he going to be able to play in the playoffs? And I said, I'm pretty sure he will be. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he will be able to play in the playoffs, because that's more for people who were waived. Okay, I'm right. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was. It was for people that's waived from NBA teams. I mean, he's coming from China, so I don't think that would even matter at this point. I mean, if he's signed at this point, I mean, he can play in the playoffs, I believe. Now, I don't think you can sign anybody once playoffs hit or anything like that, but you know. You guys saying I'm right, I'm just gonna go with the fact that I'm right. So don't worry about that. Don't put too much emphasis on that. But this is a good signing, guys. It's significant because not only is it significant in the standpoint of, oh, the Spurs went and got a guy that can help. Not just that. They're trying to implement players now and quickly, and I think part of it is because they really do believe they can make a run for the championship. Spurs don't just act on things. They don't just do things. They're very methodical with how they operate. The Spurs believe that they can win a championship. And certain years, we know when the Spurs feel like they can't. We cheer. We say, yeah, let's try to win this championship. But in our heart of hearts, we know when the Spurs know that they're not going to win a championship. I mean, we had years where Tony Parker came out and said, yes, I don't think we're winning any more championships. I mean, we had years where Popovich is kind of nonchalant about his team play. Like in 2011 against the Grizzlies, when we were first seed, by the way, at the end of the season, we were playing terribly. Like we were not a championship team at that point. And Popovich was nonchalant. He didn't come out and get aggressive. He was just like, hey, man, you know, it is what it is. But right now, these aggressive moves that the Spurs are making, where they're saying, Lonnie, play, where they're saying, you know, let's go get Demo, where they're saying we just missing a couple pieces. They know. They could have waited. They could have said, Lonnie Walker, you're not going to play anymore. He played in Houston in an away game, and they could have easily said, you're not going to play, and we're going to shut you down for the remainder of the season so you can develop, and, you know, we know you're injury prone, and, you know, we're going to just keep letting you recover, and we'll have you back next season. They didn't do that. They wanted to see, Lonnie, are you ready? And Lonnie came out and said, Coach, I think I'm ready. I don't think Lonnie fully got it at first. I think that Lonnie had a lot of confidence. I won't call it arrogance, but he had a lot of confidence. But I think he had a lot of naive confidence at the beginning of the season. And we love it. You know, we love seeing a player come out and say, yeah, you know, if Coach need me to do this, I'm going to do it. Because Lonnie came out and said, if Coach need me to play defense, I'm going to play defense. If Coach need me to play offense, I can play offense. You need me to guard the best player, I'll guard the best player. That's how he came out and talked, and we love it. But at the same time, you haven't played an NBA game yet. You don't know how hard this is going to be. And I think that you have a lot of confidence, but you have a little naiveness with it. So I think that the growing of Lonnie Walker over this season has been tremendous in the way and fashion that Popovich has played him. The games that he played him in is very telling to how the Spurs feel about Lonnie Walker. Because how do you only play this dude? Like, he had a few other games where he got, you know, a little garbage time. But for the most part, his debuts, his like, hey, Lonnie Walker's on display. There have been big games, and it was games against really good teams. I mean, he went against the Rockets when we were... No, it wasn't the Rockets. I'm sorry. I said that wrong. The first time he did debut was actually against Toronto. That game, that was a very emotional game. That was the game. I just thought red in my head, and I thought Rockets. No, it was Toronto. That game, that's a big game. Yes, we were blowing him out, but he got playing time. He played against the Warriors. He got tremendous playing time, and nobody was playing basically but Lonnie Walker because everybody else was sitting out. And then you put him in this game against the Rockets. It's like Spurs know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. So I think that this is huge. I think that every move that they're making is going to help us tremendously. And I'm excited. Like, before, I was excited because, yeah, it's my Spurs. We're going to the playoffs. Let's do our thing, just like any other season. This season, I really think we could be an upset. If the refs don't get in the middle of it, because we know what refs can do, and if DeMar DeRozan can be a little more patient in these types of situations, yo, we can do it. And all you people, I want to say something too. Let me rant for just a second, just a millisecond. And I know it's gonna come across as a little biased, but I don't care. I'm gonna be honest with you. All you people that come out and saying that we need to trade DeMar DeRozan, can you please just shut the hell up about that? I mean, really, I ain't got nothing against you. I'm not sitting here saying, because some people will say, like, you're not a true Spurs fan if you say that. No. Having an opinion about your team and your, players is one thing. I mean, that's no big. I mean, I'm the main one that has criticized DeJounte Murray off the court. Like, I'm that guy. That doesn't mean I don't love him as a Spur. That don't mean that I don't want him to be successful. That doesn't mean I'm not a Spurs fan. So being critical of your team is not a big deal. But why would you jump to the conclusion that we need to trade DeMar DeRozan? For what? For who are we going to trade DeMar DeRozan for? Number one question. Number two question. Here's my second question. Were you the same people? Were you saying this when he was winning all these games? When he was hitting all these daggers? When he went against the Warriors just a few days ago and hit a huge shot in the fourth? Were you there when he put 2 daggers in the heart of the Mavericks this season? I mean, he has had plenty of clutch moments. Yes, he's had moments where he gave up the ball and he turned the ball over in clutch situations. You got to fix that. But for us to just jump on that notion that, oh yeah, he's just a choke artist. No, he still has the guts to try to get in the paint. He still has the guts to try to get in there. The only problem is he already don't get calls. So in certain situations, he has to be a little more patient, a little more calm. But he's never, ever, and Popovich has said this himself, DeMar DeRozan is a special type of guy. Don't take this for granted, a guy that's willing to take the last shot. Do not take that for granted, Spurs fans. Anybody that watched this, do not take that for granted. If you're watching this later on and you see this and you got this far into the video and you've been feeling iffy about DeMar, don't take that for granted, having a guy that's willing to take the last shot. Trust me, do not do it. The King LeBron James last season in the finals put up 51 points and was not willing to take the last shot and passes George Hill, and you know how the rest of that series went. So don't take that for granted that you have a guy that's willing to take that shot. That's not a guy that's choking. That's just in certain situations, stuff that happened early in the game that he got away with early in the game. He tries to emphasize it too much, and it blows up in his face sometimes. Like running into the paint, like this last game, it's constantly trying to get, something off in the paint. He didn't have to do that. It was like 2 minutes left. He needed to just be patient. He got impatient. He wanted to go ahead and win it now, and that's just not how you should do it. But just not going that whole thing and calling DeMar DeRozan a choke artist. He's not a choke artist. He's had too many plays this season for me to say that dude is a choke artist. And another thing, I know that we've been spoiled. I know that we've had Tim Duncan, one of the greatest closers of all time. Manu Ginobili, one of the greatest closers of all time. Tony Parker, one of the greatest closers of all time. Robert Horry, one of the greatest closers of all time. I mean, we've had some great closers on our team. And I know that it's really hard to, see a guy that doesn't close like a Tim Duncan and we get irritated. But guys, DeMar DeRozan, that guy can ball. He can ball. He's willing to take the last shot. And we can't expect him to be a Tim Duncan. What we need right now not for DeMar DeRozan to be a Tim Duncan, or for Patty Mills to be a Tony Parker, or for Derek White to be a Manu, or Lonnie Walker be a Manu. We don't need that. What we need right now is for a Popovich to be a Popovich, because he has the tools around him that Popovich can prove that he is the great. I mean, I think he already proved it, but some people would differ. He's the greatest coach of all time, and he can solidify that. And I think he's capable of doing it. Of course, if refs just let players play. And honestly, and I'm gonna say something about that too, about the refs and everything. But yeah, all we need is Popovich to be Popovich, guys, and we are in a great position. He said, "Nah, Lonnie's the next Manu." Hey, he got to prove that. Manu hit a lot of big shots in his career now. Manu hit a lot of big shots, but we can't just expect them to be that. If they're just great players, if they're just really good players, and DeMar DeRozan is one of those really good players, that's enough for Popovich to run with it and try to win a championship. That's all I'm saying. Now, let me get into the refs, because I wanted to say something about the refs too before we get off and everything. But let me say something about the refs. I kept saying, and you guys heard me say it during this video, how I was saying that, we should be able to win a championship, or we should be in position if the refs don't screw us over. Spurs fans know that refs screw us over often. And the NBA is a multi-million... Okay, I don't know what just happened. I was just saying that I understand that the NBA is a multi-million-dollar business. And I know that they're not going to be completely fond of the San Antonio Spurs winning the championship every year, or winning the championship at all. In that matter. Hey, by the way, can you guys hear me? I'm trying to make sure my audio is right. Ref screw us in Toronto. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I hear you. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I understand that the refs have been a big factor in certain years where the Spurs did not make it to the place that we wanted to make them. But the reason why I think that happens is because the NBA is a multi-million-dollar business, and there's certain teams they're not going to want to see in the finals. When it was exciting to see the Spurs go against the Heat, refs didn't really mess with us that much. We just did our thing, and they didn't try to screw us over or nothing like that. Nothing shady, and we just did our thing because that's ratings. But I think that with this year, I think this is one of those years, guys, where the NBA is not going to try to stop the Spurs from doing anything. I don't think the refs are going to try to stop the Spurs from doing anything. Because honestly, if we're being real, there's no teams out there. Any team out there, honestly, is going to show big ratings. The biggest ratings you probably could get this year, honestly, will be Spurs versus Toronto. Think about that. So if the Spurs just do their thing and do their part, and it's going to be a battle, don't get me wrong. And if we could get past the Warriors, we could possibly win a championship. Ain't nobody gonna mess with us. They're not gonna touch us, because this is a big story. DeMar DeRozan DeMar DeRozan getting to the finals, going against his old team, Toronto. They will like that. And just think about any other teams, Bucks and Warriors. People might want to see that, because they might use that little headline. Giannis, is he the best player in the NBA finally? Has he taken LeBron James' throne? Any highlight, anything you can think of, any lineup you can think of, any matchup that you can think of, honestly goes in the NBA's favor. So even when we get into, like, is the NBA rigged? I don't think the NBA is just rigged. I want to say that right now. I don't think the NBA is just rigged, but it is a multi-million-dollar company, and they're not going to just let certain things happen. And I guess that is kind of rigged, isn't it? But you know what I mean. I mean, it's political. It's politics everywhere. I mean, it's not just the NBA, it's everywhere. Not everything is fair. So I really do believe that in this situation, I think that it's in the NBA's favor if the Spurs got to the finals. They might not mess with that. They might just let us play out. That's really something exciting to think about, because most of the time they don't really want us going to the finals. I mean, they do a lot of sneaky things. If we want to go back to when we went against the Clippers, I think it was 2015, and we went against the Clippers, and that's right when LeBron left again, And you know, the excitement between, you know, Heat and Spurs was nothing again. I mean, nothing at all, and the Spurs weren't exciting again. and and we went against the Clippers, and then they stopped. I think it was game 7? I think it was game 7, and they stopped the shot clock early. I don't know if you remember that. Do you guys remember that? Or not? They started the shot clock early before we even inbounded the ball at the end of the game. And also there was a shove on Chris Paul, and they just let it go when he shoved Danny Green to get that clutch shot that he hit. But it was a lot of bull. Yeah, with Paul's game winner. Exactly. So there's been years where they screw us over. Or if we want to go back to the Thunder game, when we went against the Thunder and they didn't call that stuff that was where they pushed Manu while they were out of bounds. It was just a lot of bull. So there's plenty of years where the refs have not been on our side. But this is one of those years where I really do believe that the Spurs, if they do their part, it's in the NBA's favor. It's in the NBA's favor for anybody to make it. And honestly, I don't think people are super excited about, oh, Rockets and Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. No, I don't think people care that much, to be honest with you. I think the Spurs going against Toronto will be probably the best possible option at this point. And I think what the NBA really wanted was Lakers versus Warriors. But since that's not going to happen, yeah, Spurs versus Raptors is probably the best outcome that could happen at this point. Yeah, all you guys saying you're excited about that. Yeah, exactly. Like that's how my brain is working, because I'm thinking on what do the Spurs have to do to win, what are the Spurs are doing to get better, and then you got to start thinking about, okay, now you just talk about this multi-million-dollar company that the Spurs are under, and let's just be real, these players are getting millions of dollars. This is a very, very high profit organization. There's going to be a little fishy stuff in there, and that's part of it. You know, are the Spurs good enough this season to beat the refs and get there? Probably not. But are they good enough if the refs leave them alone to get there? Hell yeah. We don't need refs' help necessarily. You said what happened? We signed Demo. I mean, that's about it. Today, that's what happened. I was just talking about how it's so great that the Spurs went and played Lonnie Walker and then went and got Demo. I just think that's amazing. And I'm really sorry about this, y'all. I'm not shaving. Good Lord. Yeah, I talked about some other stuff. Bryn Forbes. By the way, y'all, that's the real Bryn Forbes up in here. I wish. Dude, man, I really do need to. Whew, I'm going to shave. I promise. Another thing. I was thinking, well, I guess I can just say it. I don't care. I'm about to get off, but I'm going to go ahead and just say it. I'm actually thinking about making... I'm actually on a diet right now. Not Spurs related. But I'm going to end up making another channel eventually when I get to where I want to get at as far as fitness-wise, and everything like that. And I get more information on everything. I think I want to make a channel for that. I want to make a channel for that because I think that would be pretty nice. And it'll help a lot of people too. Because right now I'm doing something and it's working pretty good for me. So hopefully I get to where I want to get it. Is this man even good? Okay, you know, I'm going to say it one more time and then I'm going to get off about... And what's up, TTV? Chase. Yeah, Chase is my boy, y'all. Let me say this. When you say, is he good? Let me tell you this. He is the perfect fit for what the Spurs are trying to do. He is if you want to know a little bit about his game, he has a decent post game. He kind of have like a kind of go-to move where he fakes to the left and does a hook shot, fake to the right, does a hook shot. Like that's kind of what he does. As far as more parts of his offense, he is a stretch 4. So he shoots threes, preferably corner threes, but he shoots threes. That's the type of player he is. And he's a good defender. So he's basically, and he's a decent passer as well. He's basically a Pau Gasol 3.0. Yeah, he has a good 3-point shot. Yeah, that's what he is. He's essentially a stretch 4. So when you're wondering what he is, that's kind of what he is. I wonder if he'll play though, because he's like a baby Brook Lopez. Look, when we're talking about will he play or not, let me ask you this. Spurs tried to find room for Drew. A lot of people say Ebanks. I thought it was Eubanks, but I'm not sure. I'm just going to say Eubanks. For Drew Eubanks, they tried to show a pretty good amount of playing time for him. So that's one thing. So if Drew Eubanks can get some playing time, I feel like our boy, you know, our new guy, and keep in mind he's a professional, guys. Like, he's been in the NBA for a number of years. He's 28 years old. He's played 2 years in China. He knows how to play basketball. So he's gonna come over and know NBA ball. It's not like he's just gonna come and be out of shape or have to. And he's a smart player, so he should be implemented pretty fast. I think everything will be all right, and yeah, I think he's gonna be okay. I think he'll get playing time. If we could find playing time for Drew Eubanks for that little stretch that we did, we can find playing time for him as well. He'll be fine. And you know, Popovich is a really good coach. Popovich will probably just give him a few things that he wants him to do. Like, hey, you know, if you can shoot a couple threes for me a game, you good. If you can, you know, play a little defense, we good. Rebound, good. You know, he's not going to ask too much of him. And when you look at the highlights of Demo, like if you want to go to YouTube and look up highlights, I'm sure you're going to find a lot of Rockets highlights in which a lot of pressure was on him. And let me say one more thing, y'all, because I don't want this to just slide. I want to say this too before I go. When you're saying whether he's a scrub or not, because a lot of people said, well, he's coming for China. He's going to be a scrub, of course. In 2011, he was a 20th overall draft pick. 20th. He's a top 20. In 2011, he was a top 20 prospect. He can ball. Jakob, I believe, is 9th. He was 9th draft pick. And I think that DeMar DeRozan was 9th as well. I could be wrong. Y'all could correct me. But he is a 20 in 2011. Yeah, I don't know what just happened. Yeah, he's only 28. That's different, man. Shut up. Said we got Tracy from China. Shut up. We knew what Tracy was, though. Tracy was kind of out of shape, like big time out of shape. I mean, this dude ain't out of shape. He's still putting up like 30-some points a game. He'll be fine. That's not young compared to the youngsters he was talking about, though. Oh, you're talking about when I was talking about. Yeah, Tracy was a little thick, man. Like Brent Forbes said, he was a little thick. No, are you talking about when I was talking about the youngsters? That wasn't. I already made a video about what the youngsters was supposedly supposed to be. I don't like that, and honestly, I'm like with you guys. Like, I'm not here to come on here and say, oh, I know this, and sources are telling. That's not what I'm here to do. CG the GOAT is a really good source, and he tells a lot of truth. For instance, he said a few weeks ago that LeBron James camp is going to come up with an excuse to try to excuse some of the stuff that's happened during this season. And of course, today something was released from the doctor talking about how he went through an injury. He should have been out 6 months. It's all bullshit. I mean, just be honest, it's all bullshit. But he's a really good source. But I'm not here to say that, oh, I hear all these sources. When I hear these sources and he tells me what's out there and what going on in the NBA or what could happen, what could possibly happen, most of the time I have the same reaction as you guys. So when he told me that, as far as who the youngster is going to be, I wasn't crazy about it. And if you go watch the video, I didn't like it at all. And it's not that I don't believe him, and I'm not going to be the type of person either to hear something I don't like or don't agree with and instantly say that it's not true just because I don't want it to be true. It could very well be true, and CG has been correct about a lot of things thus far. So I'm not going to even do that. You can have an opinion. Here's the thing. You can have an opinion about something, but it doesn't always mean that your feelings on it are true. There's always truth to something. That doctor thing was such BS, bro. That doctor thing. Oh, from LeBron James? Yeah, that's such bullshit. I mean, do y'all remember last season where he played the entire finals and then he came into the press conference with a cast on? Like, come on, get out of here with that. When you were saying doctor thing is BS, I thought you were talking about the Kawhi comments today. That pissed me off. That's probably needs a whole nother video. But that irritated the hell out of me when he said, yes, with a medical staff, you need guys that you can trust for sure. It's like, man, shut up. Whatever. You're gonna leave Toronto too. Shut up. Like you can't trust us. Whatever. I don't want to hear that. That was just an excuse to leave. So was Demo the youngster you was talking about a month ago or so? No. In a month ago, I talked about who the youngster could possibly be. If CG, and I'm like this, y'all. If CG hit me up, or he hits other fan pages up, I see all the messages, by the way, when he messages us. And he works with ESPN. That's all I can really say to you guys. But if he says some more info regarding the Spurs, I'll tell you about it. Honestly, I haven't even checked the messages today, so he could have very well told or said something about the Spurs signing somebody, and I just didn't catch it. Why exactly did Kawhi leave? I don't know. To get more recognition. I don't know. Go watch my rap. Hey, have all you guys? It's 17 people in here. Let me ask you something. Have all you guys went to my rap that I did? Cause I think a lot of people didn't check it out. Did you check out the rap I did about the Spurs? It was like Spurs related, and Cool. Go do that, because you can go on my page. If you go on the page, the channel, it's like at the top, and it's like the highlight. Please get on there, because I think that needs more recognition, because I want to get that one a little more blown up. And I'm writing another one for a Spurs rap that I'm going to try to release before playoffs hit. And yeah, if you guys could go ahead and get on there and like it, watch it, share it, that would be huge, because I think it needs a little more views than it does, because I worked hard on that, and it was, your boy went in a little bit. You said I did when it came out. That's dope, man. That's dope. Let's see. Some people asked, they were like, man, you must listen to Eminem. It's like, yeah, I'm a huge Eminem fan, because some of the lines in there sound like something Eminem would have said. I didn't do that on purpose, I promise. Let's see. All right, well, yeah, everybody in here, I wrote it, man. You know, people put freestyle and everything. I wrote that. When are you gonna stream? Ah, man, I want to tomorrow, but honestly, I don't know if I have time against the Celtics. I'm not sure. Next coming week I will. I don't know if I can tomorrow. As sports fans, we support you, brother. Just stay consistent. Of course, man. Of course. You must not be a Spurs fan. You just a sport fan? Yeah, see, I think so. Was it about Kawhi? Oh, the rap. I had some part. I put on there Kawhi diss, but honestly, it was more so like, yeah. He did. Wait, what is it? How do Lonnie do against the Rockets? He did pretty good. Yeah, Lonnie did fine against the Rockets. Don't look at his stats, because you're gonna look at his stats and say he did fine. I mean, he only played like 7 minutes or something, but he did fine. Good writing skills, bro. Thank you. Clever writing for the rap. Thank you. You got me that mod though, right? Yeah. Because I still, that's another thing too. Because if I did stream tomorrow, it'd probably still be through my phone, because I ain't downloaded the thing yet. But yeah, I got you. How do you feel about Harden's flop? Man, screw Harden. Harden flops about everything, y'all. You ain't got to worry about that. Flopping don't win you championships, and flopping ain't going to beat the Spurs. So you ain't got to worry about that. I can't watch it, won't show. The video? You can't watch it. I can't watch it, won't show. Huh. I guess you could just type in the search bar, just type in Clan the Spurs fan rap, or yeah, just go to the channel and it should be like at the top. But yeah, just type in Clan the Spurs fan rap or Spurs freestyle and Kawhi diss, and you will see me on there. But yeah, your best bet is probably say Clan the Spurs fan freestyle or something, you know what I mean, and it should come up. DeMar with that violent hit on Harden. Surprised he didn't get thrown out of the game. I know, right? All right, y'all. I'm about to go ahead and get off. It was really cool being on here. I might get on here tomorrow and talk for a little bit. You know, whenever this gets uploaded, you can leave a comment on, if you want, you can leave a comment on anything you want to talk about, any subject you want me to bring up next time. He said, no, don't go, we missed you. Man said, damn, I just got here. Bro, I've been out here for 45 minutes now. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off. But if you could, please go check out that rap. If you guys have not checked it out, please, please, please. Because I think a lot of people, I think the thing is, when you see that somebody release anything that's rap, even if it's Spurs related, it's like, it's a rap. So you instantly think it's gonna be trash. I'm not trash. Like, I can write, I can rap. Check it out. I think it was really good. The only thing that I'm gonna do differently next time, first off, the next one's gonna be a better rap, even than this one. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure I put the lyrics at the bottom, because it's some part that people did not understand what I was saying. Is there something on my nose, or is that like a mole or something? No. Just stream my mom's jersey time. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. Yeah, I think I'll be able to do that. But there's a part in the rap, and when you guys go check it out, if you haven't seen it, it's like near the end, I say, coming and killing like Gilligan Ho, and I live by the honor and die by the soul, so I'm coming and getting on all you souls. And people's like, yo, you need to put some type of like lyrics at the bottom of it. And I was like, dang, I probably should have done that. But it was too late. It was already uploaded, and I didn't really want to re-upload that. So next time I'll do that. Because at the end, it's, I'm coming and killing like Gilligan Ho. I live by the honor and die by the sword. So I'm coming and getting on all of you hoes. I'm the Grim Reaper and you and the host. Taking your dream with the word of the flow. You Karma Cortez, we double O. Karma Cortez is, yeah, if you know, you know. Spy Kids, you know. And we double O. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get with you later. Please tell people about the channel. Please tell people about the rap. You know, get people over to this page, because we need to. Yeah, her name is Carmen, exactly. Carmen Cortez. But yeah, please. Somebody just messaged me. But yeah, please get on here. Get people to the page, like it, subscribe, all that good jazz. Until next time, Spurs Nights. Deuces.